Hey, grand rising and visualizing. What's happening, y'all? You know how we be doing. Good game we pursuing. Let me take flight and do what's right. You know how we be doing out here every day. Check me out though. Look, kissing babies and shaking hands, man. I'm out here doing. Look, you hear me? What the? I got to do out here, making it black open. And you are now experiencing the world famous BossMack podcast. RNS, y'all. RN motherfucking S. Oh, yes. Today is a beautiful day. I'm happy as fuck to be up in here doing this shit. Y'all niggas already know how I get down. Nothing but good game when I come around. BossMack top soil, y'all got to love the sound. Whoa! Yes, indeed. Here to give you what you need with the speed. Real niggas always in the league. Real niggas always in the league. Real niggas always in the league. We always in the league. We always in the league, y'all. Grand rising and visualizing. We always in the lead, y'all. God bless the game. God bless the game. What's up, man? I'm here with y'all, man. Listen, I hope these words is reaching you in good spirits right now. I hope you woke up to a happy bitch in the crib with you. If you woke up by yourself, I hope your bed was nice, crispy, clean. You woke up with a lot of energy, buoyancy, ready to go get to that chili. You hear me? I hope your shower was clean, your bathroom was clean, your refrigerator full of food, packed with food. I hope your pockets is right. I hope this recession ain't phasing you. This depression recession ain't phasing you. Fuck the drones. Get to the chili. You hear me? I hope your car started up. I hope all your bitches is acting right. I hope ain't none of your bitches tripping with you. You feel me? Everything velvet. Relicent. You feel me? I got on my reality is beautiful, nigga. I got on the reality is beautiful. Reality is beautiful shirt right now. Because reality is beautiful. I like seeing the realness. You feel me? Tokyo, Japan, you hear me? BossMack, Tokyo, Japan. You understand? Hit the like button on the way up in here. The show is brought to you by BossMack Streetwear. Go to BossMack Streetwear right now and get your issue. And I ain't gonna even lie to you at all. If you order some shit today, it is not gonna get there by Christmas. You feel me? But it's gonna get to you. Hey, and if you're waiting on some shit, it's coming out. As soon as I stop this podcast, I'm sending out hella shit. You feel me? It's a one-man team American dream. I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna get you your issue. I know you ordered your shit, and I'm going to get it to you because I want you to have it. I want you to have your shit. If you waiting on some shit, I want you to have it. But yeah, the show is brought to you by BossMack Streetwear. You know, you can get the offensive BossMack Streetwear right here, man. You know what I'm saying? That you see the great Snoop Dogg rocking. You know what I'm talking about? The world famous Bitch Relax. Or you can get this right here. I don't even know if I released this one yet. I'm going to release this one today. I got this one in black, white, and I think in black and pink. You feel me? You get this one today. But I got y'all niggas, man. I promise. You feel me? Yeah. And the show is brought to you by BossMack. Give me a game if you need some game. Holla at the BossMack Topsoil. Jump in the DMs. Or send me an email. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about. Jump in the DMs on IG. Or my number is in the description. You can text message me. You feel me? I'm going to get it. Holla at me. Set up some time. And we can chop it up. And be thankful that I could chop it up with you because I'm busy than a motherfucker. You hear me? You know, bro, it's not enough time in the day. You know what I'm saying? It is not enough time in the day right now, bro, for the BossMack. Hit the like button for this game. It's not enough. It's not. I wish I didn't have to sleep, man. I wish I could stay up for like about 7 days at maximum mental efficiency and just go hard for about 7 days, man. Just grind it, man. Like, man. I ain't gonna even lie, man. I need the limitless pill. I need the limitless pill, like from that movie and shit. You know what I'm talking about? I'm off that mud right now, though. Shout out to this motherfucker right here, though. This motherfucker right here. Shout out to this motherfucker, man. Shout out to this espresso machine right here, man. This motherfucker be keeping the motherfucker in the mix. Shout out to the chat, though. Shout out to the chat. I see Joe Blast in this motherfucker, digital roster in this motherfucker. You know I got you, Manny Dash. I got you, man. I seen your box, nigga. You know I got you. I got you. I dodged the trap. KFT. Flow State Mobster. You feel me? Megan Davis. Manny Dash, I got you, man. I swear I got you, bro. Travis Wright, SC. You know what I'm saying? These nuts in this motherfucker. Malik Sadiq and shit. Blessings, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I appreciate everybody that orders some shit, bro. I appreciate y'all motherfuckers, man. I think this is the most orders I got. Nah, this ain't the most orders I ever got. The most orders I ever got was when the Bitch Relax pillowcases was in when the Bitch Relax pillowcases was in Jenny in Georgia. I don't know if I even talked about that. The Jenny in Georgia on Netflix with the little white girls and shit. Did I ever tell y'all that? On Jenny in Georgia, the little white girls on there. One of the little white girls had Bitch Relax pillowcases on her bed. You feel me? I don't know if I told y'all that. all of a sudden I was, and the way I found out about it, I was just, I just noticed I had like about 5 orders for pillowcases. I was like, damn, 5 orders for pillowcases. Then I looked back a little later, it was like 15 orders for pillowcases. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Then it was like 40 orders for pillow. I was like, man, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Shout out to whoever did that. Whoever put the whoever did that. That was a blessing. Nobody never told me shit. That, you know what I'm saying? I hollered at them and shit too. I was shouted out the show. I was like, "Shut, what's up with y'all? Fuck with y'all." Then the producers of the show hit me. He was like, "Hey, what's that, BossMack?" I was like, "Hey, hit the like button for this game, nigga." But them bitch relaxed pillowcases is popping though, man. I sleep on them every night. I sleep on my own pillowcases every night and shit. Sleep on. I had to think about that shit. I was like, damn, man, I sleep on bitch relaxed pillowcases. Damn. Hit the like button for this game now. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. It's a beautiful day. What can I say, man? Happy to be here. Happy to be doing this. Feeling thankful, blessed that got a podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to YouTube. Bless me. Let me get my shit back. You know what I'm saying? They did me in last weekend. I'm still thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been a wild Christmas if they would have just upheld that, you know? But we getting these orders out, man. We getting them out, man. So bear with a nigga, man. Hey, man. Foot on the gas today, tomorrow, Sunday. You feel me, man? We getting them motherfuckers out, man. We getting them out, man. That's all I'll be doing is making clothes all day. Then slow me down on the shorts, all that. Trying to get this shit out. Who is that? Height, I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. Pride by Ad Words. Pride by Ad Words. What's up with it? Yeah, man. Oh, man. Niggas in the nose. Niggas in the motherfucking nose. Shout out to JayZ at war, man. Shout out to JayZ at war. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ugly out there for JayZ, man. I don't know, man. I know I don't want nothing to happen to JayZ. He you know, we losing billionaires, but man. Basquiat, JayZ, man. Oh, niggas is at war. Shout out to JayZ sending out private investigators on motherfuckers, man. Shout out to JayZ. JayZ playing that good chess out there. I wonder how many motherfuckers he done did shit like that too, where he sent out the private investigators on you and find out information about you and then threaten your shit. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how many niggas he did like that. You know what I'm saying? But him saying him and Puffy ain't friends is some cold shit though, man. That's some cold shit. That's some cold shit. That's some cold shit, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I ain't trying to hate, but damn. Nigga can't say a good word about Puffy, nothing good. Niggas can't say nothing good. Can't say, man, I you know, we hung out a little bit. We hung out a little bit, but you know, I didn't know. I ain't never see no weird shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. Yeah, you know, we hung out a little bit, but I ain't see nothing weird happen. I ain't see nothing weird though. You know, he seemed like a reasonable dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I popped out at a couple of parties. You know what I'm saying? I invited him to the Rock Nation brunch. You know what I'm saying? I would have never invited him if I thought he was, whooping bitches. I didn't know. I didn't know he was whooping on bitches. I didn't know he did all that. Now they out here. They got his lawyer looking crazy. They got the lawyer. They say the lawyer gave somebody a STD and shit. They got the lawyer. JayZ playing dirty. It's getting ugly. JayZ playing dirty. We ready. If you wrong, you wrong. Digital roster say that's Brooklyn for you. Them New York niggas is treacherous, man. Them New York niggas is treacherous than a motherfucker, man. Them New York niggas, man. Them New York niggas, man. I'm waiting to see how Diddy gonna respond to. I mean, not Diddy, but Jay. See them niggas fucked around so much. I be getting niggas' names mixed up. I be ready trying to say JayZ and say Diddy. Them niggas kicking it so hard, man. I can't believe these niggas, man. That nigga JayZ a cold ass nigga, man. I can't help but think. I can't help but reminisce. I can't help but reminisce when them niggas was standing around at the billionaire brunch and shit. You know, when Meek Mill was looking like a sidekick to Diddy and shit right there. You know what I'm saying? When Meek Mill was looking like a sidekick to a nigga, looking happy to be there and shit. Nigga JayZ was posing like a motherfucker. That's when he had on mauve. That's when he clowned the motherfucker. Motherfucker was like, JayZ, you got on pink suit? Yeah. He said that's mauve. It's mauve. It's mauve. I was like, man, this nigga JayZ is all the way over there with the bullshit. JayZ all the way with the bullshit. JayZ all the way with the bullshit. Now, see, here's the thing, man. I remember I was looking at the Rock Nation lunch and shit, and Rock Nation brunch. And I was tripping off of this shit right here, how Beyonce had on you know, that's that Michelle Lammy shit right there. That's what Beyonce got on right there. That, you know, that witch bitch, that weird ass bitch that be with Rick Owens. That Michelle Lammy bitch that everybody be acting like she ain't weird as fuck. Be chilling with her. Let me ask. before I talk about Michelle Lammy, Most High, let me give some praises to the Most High God. Please bless this pod and protect this pod from Michelle Lammy. You understand me? Most High God, Jesus Christ, please bless this pod, protect it from Michelle Lammy. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rick Owens and Michelle Lammy. This look like some Beyonce got on some Michelle Lammy shit right there. You know what I mean? So I be like, what is JayZ on, man? What is JayZ on, man? See, when I see her with this on, I can't help but think of what is JayZ on. You know what I'm saying? Like, my bitch, the high priestess of this shit right here. You feel me? And look at the homage that the Queen Bee is showing. Look, it's like, oh, that's some Frankie Beverly playing there, man. Let me mute that. I don't want to get no. I mean, you know, what this bitch doing, man? What this bitch got on right here, man? What is that? You know what I mean? That's like, you know, Basquiat, JayZ, and Swiss. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know, man. I ain't trying to be hating on JayZ, man, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what is niggas on, man? Like, what is niggas on? What is niggas on? You know what I'm saying? What is niggas on? What is niggas on? What is this bitch on right here, bro? What is this bitch on? What is that? What she got on, man? What is that? What is this, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm taking Snow Allegra. You understand me? I'm taking Snow Allegra. If I see this, I'm taking Snow Allegra. I'm like, what the fuck? See, if I was at the Rock Nation, if I was at that Rock Nation brunch, I'd have been like, what the fuck do that bitch got on? See, what's in me is like asking a bitch what a bitch got. What the fuck you got on though? Like, what is this? What you doing? That shit look, man, what is you, the high priestess bitch of this motherfucker? They be like, get him out! Get him out! Get him out! Hey man, what do this bitch got on? If they, oh man, if I'd have got the microphone and got to talk, what the fuck do this? Shout out to Beyonce, bitch, what you got on? What the fuck? What the fuck? Where the helmet at, bitch? You got a helmet to go on that motherfucker? It look like you should have a bubble helmet on that motherfucker, bitch. Get him out! They'd have been like, get him out! Get him out! See, I went on and liked that shit. Look at that. DJ Khaled kissing ass. See, that's that Osculum in fame. Osculum in fame. You know what I'm saying? The devil wants you to kiss his ass. That's what eating ass is. That's eating ass. Osculum in fame. Y'all Google that. Osculum in fame. More Osculum in fame. Osculum in fame. Oh, shit. Yeah, Tyler the Creator out there. Osculum in fame. Osculum in fame. Hit the like button for this guy. What I'm looking for, though. See, I feel like when I look through the Rock Nation brunch pics, I noticed it took a while. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Hit the like button for this game, though. See, they done went through here and cleaned out the Diddy shit, bro. They done went through here trying to clean out the Diddy shit. I don't know, man. That shit is tricky, bro. This shit is tricky, man. Y'all bear with me. I'm looking for it. See, I can't even, I'm looking through the Rock Nation brunch shit. It's hard to find Diddy now. You know what I mean? Well, you know he was at that shit. You feel it? Oh, there you go. That's the mauve one. Let me see. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Him and Diddy ain't friends, man. They not friends, bro. They not friends. We not friends. Why them niggas in the middle though? Is they in the middle because they got the most money? Why they in the middle though? Look at X-Man outfit. Look, you feel me? BossMack, you know these niggas get paid when they rich. These niggas get weird when they rich. Big Brown, Beyonce got on the outfit from the movie Fifth Element. Yeah. I thought you was gonna say the Incredibles. But yeah, Fifth Element. Come on, man. Him and JayZ ain't friends, bro. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Hit the like button. We ain't friends. I don't know that nigga. I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him. I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about that nigga. Fuck that nigga. I ain't never seen it. I don't know that nigga. I don't know that nigga like that. Me and that nigga, hey, this come under game right here, man. This come under make discipline your friend for the win. This come under game right here, man. This come under this come under game. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. You might have to be a sexual deviant to touch billions. You might can't get to the billions if you're not a sexual deviant. You know what I'm saying? According to the Marquis de Sade in the Juliet book, I always use that as a reference. Juliet and Justine, you feel me? According to them books, you can't get to the billion. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, hey, you know, now I don't know if Elon Musk is sexual deviant. You know, I don't know. I don't know if Jeff Bezos is sexual deviant. They could be though. Hit the like button. I don't know. Jay wearing the Princess Diana Autumn collection. Doing business don't always mean friends. You right, Joe Blast. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I know JayZ did some business with Warren Buffett. You feel me? But they ain't got a lot of pictures though. I guess you know when y'all the only black billionaires, y'all got to take a lot of pictures together. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as the BossMack topsoil, if I know that you are weird, you hear me? As the BossMack topsoil, if I know that you do weird shit, if I hear or see you do some weird shit, we not gonna have that many pictures together, but we not gonna have a lot of pictures together. We might have a couple pictures together, but once I see or hear that you're weird, we not gonna have no picture. We can still do business. We can still do business if we gotta. If you the only person that you know in a specific area that I gotta fuck with business wise, I could overlook that you're a weird sexual deviant and do business, but we ain't. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't at your parties like that. Cause if I know you're weird and you do weird shit, something might happen to you one day and they're gonna say that I was down with it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, hey, you knew about it and you was down with it. Like they're doing now to JayZ. I mean, that's just I mean, maybe I don't have the advanced billionaire game. You know what I'm talking about? To really get to that billion, because you got to have heart to get to that billionaire game, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I once again going back to the Marquis de Sade and the Juliet book, like, you know, they invite me to some shit and they start doing the weird shit, because that's the way it go. They invite you to some shit and then they say, okay, it's the orgy time, and then they start doing some wild shit in there, and I just go, oh man, and I gotta look like it ain't phasing me and shit and participate, see when I don't participate and I start looking stunned and excuse myself, then I don't escalate past. I don't get no benefits after that. I don't get, you know, I don't get the plugs like I had before. The shit turned against me. I don't have no more hit records because I wasn't down with the, you know what I'm saying? I didn't jump into the orgy or whatever was happening. I didn't look like it didn't faze me, you know what I'm saying, when they started, you know, when they burst out into homosexual activities. I started looking stunned and shit, and they was like, he ain't down with us. The BossMack over there looking stunned. Get him out. Hit the like button for this game. All the coaches and politicians were at Epstein parties. Yeah. I hear they looking for chemical gas leak from those missing containers. Facts. People will associate you with who they see you around. They have to do the Black Excellence Showcase to keep their base buying their stuff. Jay looking like a 60-year-old lady going through chemo. It's not just the money, it's the fame. You gotta be a deviant and rich, famous. Seen those drones last night, BossMack. Hit the like button for this game. Hey man, the drones, man. The drones. Another nigga in the nose. The drones. The drones. They say the drones is looking for a dirty bomb, man. Y'all heard that one? The drones is looking for a dirty bomb that they snuck in this motherfucker. The drones is looking for a dirty bomb. The drones is looking for a dirty bomb that they snuck in this motherfucker. Y'all heard that one? Y'all heard that one? And then the other one is if the drones ain't a dirty bomb, if the drones ain't looking for a dirty bomb, it's China. It's China punking us. Either way, it's bad. Either way. Either way. Either way. Drones big as the RV. Drones. Drones, man. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for the nuclear detonation, man. And
Hi everyone, I'm Maggie McGrath with Forbes Breaking News. Mysterious drones have been spotted over New York and New Jersey, and on Friday, Governor Kathy Hochul even closed the airspace over Stewart International Airport for 1 hour due to drone activity in the airspace. Some are questioning whether these drones are foreign interference. Joining us to answer that question and so many more is Gordon Chang. He wrote the book The Coming Collapse of China, and his most recent work is Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maggie.
So let's just zoom out, because drones are often used recreationally. What makes the drones that we're seeing over New York?
Gordon Chang. Y'all fuck with him? Y'all fuck with Gordon Chang? they tripping on the size. Some say they are like a tricycle size. I dodged the trap. Yeah, B. That's the story on the East Coast. They looking for a radioactive bomb. Hey, man.
New York and New Jersey different than drones that you might see at a tourist location like the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, some of these drones are large. They've been compared to SUVs, for instance. They have flashing lights. They move in erratic ways, which a hobbyist probably would not be able to accomplish. So the general feeling is that these are drones which are not from your general run-of-the-mill hobbyist. There's something more.
They are something more. And do we know where they're taking off from? I mean, what's the range of one of these drones?
We don't know the answers to those questions. Some of the drones have been observed coming over the Atlantic Ocean. Others have just been hovering around inland areas. So there's, I guess the answer is all of the above in terms of where they're coming from. As to their range, that we can only speculate.
We can only speculate. Now, officials have a variety of explanations. I saw some officials associated with the government saying, oh, these are manned aircrafts that are taking off and landing. We had another statement over the weekend saying that this is due to a change in FAA policy regarding manned aircrafts and takeoff times. What do you make of the official statements we've received from the FBI, from the White House, from our nation's officials?
The statements leave a lot to be desired, and they're not entirely consistent with one another, which you'd expect in a fast-moving situation. But clearly, the American people are not buying it. And as we look at those statements, some of them look carefully crafted. And so at this point, we really need the President of the United States to actually address the American people and tell us what the federal government knows and what it doesn't know. And I think that that will calm a lot of the speculation.
Why do you think the Biden administration has not been more forthcoming? Is it that they themselves are still looking for answers, or what's at play here?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on inside the administration, and I don't know how much they know or don't know. But that is something that the American people would like to know, even if.
Hit the like button for this game. Gordon Chain.
They're still searching for answers because we are seeing all sorts of theories, and many of them are plausible and many of them are ominous. And I think it's up to the President of the United States to tell us what the federal government knows and what it's doing.
The governors of New York and New Jersey have sought to calm residents, but they themselves are asking for answers and for more resources. Let's talk about where these drones have been sighted. Some have just been over residential neighborhoods. What do you make of where they've been spotted and if that means anything?
It means that who ever operating these drones is very concerned about what might be in those residential neighborhoods. There have been reports, and you start to try to put through all of these reports, but there have been reports of spikes in radiation in the New York metropolitan area, 2 of them, one on each side of the Hudson.
Spikes in radiation in the New York metropolitan area. Spikes in radiation in the New York metropolitan area. Can you guys imagine? Can you imagine if a dirty bomb goes off there? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? We haven't had a war on American soil since 1812. You dig me?
And so
since 1812.
that leads to the conclusion that maybe they're looking.
Wait a minute. Let me fix that. Yeah.
For an implanted nuclear weapon. One thing we know, and that is for more than a decade, US officials have been worried about the North Koreans taking apart a device, smuggling the parts into the United States, and reassembling it in the location of their choice. So this is not something which is just wild speculation. And when you talk about radiation, clearly this could be one of the things that the drones are doing. And that will explain why they're over residential areas, because the device could be planted in one of those places. Now, the reason why this speculation has gained some currency is because the Pentagon has said these are not military drones. And that's sort of, and they say it's not foreign. So if you put those two things together, it means they're domestic. These are obviously not drones operated by individuals. And that leads you to believe maybe Department of Homeland Security, maybe FBI, maybe even the CIA, even though they're not allowed to operate on American soil. So if the danger is serious enough, we could see the U.S. Taking emergency action like that. So until we hear from the president, until we get more information, until we get more consistent information, we have to plan for the worst.
We have to plan for the worst. So is that North Korean scenario the worst in your mind, or is there another foreign actor theory that you've heard that has credibility?
Well, people have talked about the Iranians. In New Jersey congressman has talked about an Iranian mothership off the U.S. coast, which the Pentagon has specifically denied. Could be, if it's Iran, it's probably with the backing of other states. And that naturally leads us to think about both Russia and China. North Korea couldn't do something like this on its own. So that really brings into play China. Any number of foreign actors can be involved in this. Now, I have heard, and this is just rumor, that
Hit the like button for this game. Hit the like button for this game. Hold on, let me fix something right quick. Hit the like button for this game, man. Bear with it, man. I got all kind of shit open. I'm in total violation. Wait a minute, let me get this shit up. Hit the like button for this game. Bear with me right quick. I'm pulling this shit back up, man. I had to close a whole bunch of shit, man. I had all kind of shit open, man. I be forgetting to close everything before a nigga go up, man. Nigga,
Being a lover girl is literally a zero. all right, let me see. All right, now this motherfucker tripping. Bear with it, nigga, man. This shit tripping, man. Hold on, man. Damn, this motherfucker. Shout out to the 100 people in here, though. It's finna. It's threatening me now. Threatening me now.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie McGrath.
This balloon could have been shot down over Alaska. It couldn't do something like this on its own, so that really brings into play China. Any number of foreign actors can be involved in this. Now, I have heard, and this is just rumor, that, for instance, the Air Force believes that these are foreign-operated drones, and that would clearly be inconsistent with the theory that I just talked about. But the Pentagon says they're domestic. So we're left with what we are.
Wait a minute.
We are left with are possibilities, many of them plausible, but all the plausible scenarios really are ominous.
One of the analogies I've heard over the past week involves the spy balloon. Can you talk a little bit more about that and if there are commonalities between these two incidents?
There's one commonality, and that is the apparent failure of the federal government, in this case, both the military and the president, to protect the American people. The NORAD, North American Air Defense Command, said they were tracking this balloon when it lifted off and as it crossed the Pacific. And according to reporting, which is credible, the President of the United States was not notified until about 3 days after this had crossed into sovereign American territory. This balloon could have been shot down over Alaska, over Canada, without any danger to human life. And yet we allowed that balloon to survey U.S. nuclear weapon sites. Maelstrom, F.E. Warren, Minot Air Force bases, where we have all of our land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles. Man 3. It passed close by Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska, the home of U.S. Strategic Command, which controls all U.S. nuclear weapons. And it floated by Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, where we base all of our B-2 strategic bombers. The Chinese picked up invaluable information. They saw our reactions. It was a failure of the Pentagon, and it was, I think, the failure of the President of the United States. The parallel here is the failure of the National Command Authority, the President, failure of the Pentagon to protect the American people from a clear threat of some sort. If it's not foreign, then we need to know that, and we need a clear statement from the people who are there to protect us.
Clear statement from the people there to protect us. So if you were President Biden right now, what are the 1, 2, and 3 steps you would be taking right now to protect citizens?
Well, the first step is to address the American people. And even if he doesn't know, that's important for us to know. And so that clearly to me is number one. Number 2 and 3 is if these aren't ours, shoot them down. We've got to a point where I know that causes danger and risk to people on the ground, but this crisis, I think, has gone so far that that is a risk that we'll have to take. Once, peace and stability has been disrupted, sometimes you have to take risks. And we are risk averse because we've lived in peace for a long time. But we're no longer in a peaceful world. We have Russia that is waging war. We have a China that talks about war all the time. China and Russia are involved in conflicts and wars on 3 continents. And we need the President of the United States to have an honest conversation with the American people about the state of the world, because this is not peacetime anymore. So we have to take those risks.
This is not peacetime anymore. Hit the like button. Propaganda 101. Alan Banks. Damn, BossMack, you got some real romantic music playing. Is that what that is? That's romantic music and shit? When has the government been straight with the people ever? Fear mongering. Blaming Iran is absolute nonsense. I don't know, man. I had to pull it up, man. I had to show that, man. At the end of the day, get your chili. You gotta get the chili. Another nigga in the nose. Hey, I gotta say, shout out to Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee. Shout out Daddy Yankee. I didn't know Daddy Yankee had money like that. I know Daddy Yankee was paid, but I didn't know Daddy Yankee was getting it like that, man. I didn't know Daddy Yankee was getting it like that. I mean, I knew Daddy Yankee was getting it, but I just didn't think like, I just didn't think Daddy Yankee was like this right here though. Like I just didn't know. I just didn't know that Daddy Yankee was on this level. I didn't know Daddy Yankee could take a $100 million L from a bitch. Daddy Yankee claims estranged wife withdrew $100 million. Daddy Yankee, man. Oh, God. Oh, shit. $100 million? $100 million? $100 million. How does a bitch do that? How does the bank do that without calling me? How can a bitch go into the bank and do that and then the bank don't call me and say, hey man, your bitch is down here. I mean, you know, her name is on the shit, but your bitch is down here trying to move around $100 million, man. You know, this is a courtesy call. This is a real nigga courtesy call right around this. Hey, your bitch is down here trying to move around $100 million, man. You might want to pull up or give her a call or something, man. You know, we doing it, but man, I just thought maybe you might want to know. I gotta get hey man. Even if I'm married, my bitch can't just go to the bank and just move around 100, and I'm living, and they know that I'm alive. Is he in the hospital? Soon as a bitch come in there and say, I want to move 100 million. They be like, where BossMack at? Is he dead? I ain't heard nothing about him being dead or sick. Is he in the hospital? Let me call him right quick. I got a special note right here. I got a special. It's a note. He left a note in here. If a bitch try to move around some money, call me. How in the fuck is a bitch just how? Without his authorization. Without authorization, how? How is that possible? How can my bitch go into the bank without authorization? How, man? Daddy Yankee getting that brick, man. I ain't heard no reggaeton in the hell. I ain't even know they still made that shit. Reggaeton. I ain't heard no reggaeton in a long time. All those international stars are paid. Yeah, I know Bad Bunny is getting it. I know Pitbull. 100 million? 100 million? 100 million? I ain't fucking with the bank no more after they do that. I'm like, man, I can't fuck with y'all no more after y'all gave it. Y'all let this bitch come in here and move around 100 million. That bitch ain't made one record. You should know, like, unless I'm dead or I'm sick. I heard BossMack was sick. So he unconscious in the hospital. So yeah, I guess a bitch can move the money around. But ain't no, man, what the fuck? Somebody got to be fired. Somebody got to be fired. I would have a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be in a dimension of having a bitch unalived at this point. Doing shit like that, unalive this bitch. That bitch would be driving somewhere and her shit'll blow up, man. If we on that type of time, 100 million. What kind of ruthless bitch is that? I need 100. A bitch can't even go in there and take like 20. I need 100. And if 100 ain't the whole thing, how much money this motherfucker, man? Bro, hella young. How much, man? 100 million. Is that cap? Is he capping? 100 million. A bitch. Come on, man. I'm gonna have to put in work about 100 million. I gotta find out. I feel y'all dodge the trap. She trying to destroy him. She hates that man. Facts, bro. Hey, man. That bitch life in danger after she play with me like that. Her life is in danger. I don't give a fuck about how my kids feel. I don't give a fuck what my kids feel. Her life is in danger after she play with me like that. A bitch have to know that after she run that play and I find out about it, we mortal enemies. We mortal enemies. Bitch, what is you doing? Where was you going? Where you thought you was gonna go? What you thought you was doing? 100 million? Bitch, where was you going? Ain't no escape, bitch. I'm hunting you down. There's no escape in the world. You would have to go to Russia and get asylum. You would have to be like the president of Syria. You'd be like that president of Syria. Man, that Syria shit, bro. That Syria shit is crazy, man. That Syria shit, man. Bashar al-Assad or whatever his fucking name is. I remember tripping off of him. I remember tripping off of his story. I remember tripping off of how his pops was the president and took over some shit, and now he took over some shit. And the nigga just, can you imagine that? You just gotta get out of your country. You just gotta leave and shit. Shit's so real. You just gotta go. He just in Russia. The president of Syria is just in Russia. Can you imagine that? How is Vladimir treating the motherfucker, man? How you get? What is your feelings when you used to be the president of your own shit, having motherfuckers killed and running shit, and then all of a sudden you gotta run. You gotta run to another country and be protected by a motherfucker. Just imagine that shit. What is your state of mind? What is the president of Syria's state of mind? What is his state of mind like? I just can't go back to my country. Hit the like button. Wonder how much he had to pay for the privilege. Man. And continue to pay. I mean, you know, it seems like that's an ongoing payment thing. It don't seem like a one-time payment. It seems like an ongoing, you had to keep paying. How you getting treated? How is Vladimir, how Vladimir treating you? How do Vladimir treat you once you do that? Do he still even get to talk to Vladimir? Do we still get to talk to Vladimir? Do they still get to talk? Can you talk to, or is it like, you don't even get to talk to Vladimir no more? Because you ain't on my level. You ain't on my level. You ain't on my level. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, you know. You ain't on my level, man. You just gotta leave. You just gotta leave, man. Look at that, man. Is he a failure? Is he a failure? Does that mean he like a failure? Is he a failure? Is he a failure? Bashar al-Assad, is he a failure? Can he walk to the store in Russia? You think he could walk to the store, like if he wanted to go to the store and get something to eat, go to McDonald's or something out there? Do they still have McDonald's in Russia? You think he'd go to the store and get something to eat? Like, you know, if I need something to eat, let me walk to the store right quick. He gotta have security. $53 years. They was in power for 53 years. He got a fat neck. His neck fat. You think he could walk to the store in Russia? Hit the like button. No, he'll get popped. Word, he getting a little broad over there. Sit in the corner. Don't let them payments stop. How's he doing it? Where he keeping the money at? Where do we keep the money at? Because if he bring the money with him to Russia, then Vladimir could just take the money. So where, oh, Swiss bank account. It might be in a Swiss bank account. So he got the money in a Swiss bank account. So he just be sending money to the Swiss bank account all while he running the show. And then when he got to run, he just go over there. And then that way, the bread just keep coming in. You feel me? Shout out to I Dodge the Trap. I appreciate that $5. I wonder, is his wife talking reckless to him? You think his wife talk reckless to him? You think you think he can still check his bitch? Can you still check your bitch if y'all had to run like that? You know what I'm saying? And some of his people who couldn't run, he had to lead them, so some motherfuckers got left. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Syria, though. Shout out to Syria, man. Shout out to Syria. Let me see. How long I been on here? Might as well do some reader listener email now, huh? Make discipline your friend for the win. Make discipline your friend for the win. We live in a time of a lack of discipline. Even the BossMack be suffering, man. I be trying to stay sturdy, man. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to stay disciplined, man. You know what I'm saying? And make discipline my friend. You know what I'm saying? It be hard though, you know what I mean? It be hard. You know? I be wanting to eat potato chips. You feel me? You know what I mean? I be wanting to eat bread and shit like that. You know? I be wanting to eat carbs. Oh, shout out to one of my bitch ass. Oh, she looking good. Oh shit. Let me comment on her shit. What the fuck? She looking good. Oh shit. Wait, I gotta comment in my oh shit. Damn. Ooh shit. I might gotta call that bitch. Damn. Oh shit, she looking good to the motherfucker. I gotta call that bitch. I've been supposed to take a bitch out. Been supposed to take a bitch out. What? Let me leave a comment on this bitch shit. Poultrytude. I leave a one word comment on a bitch shit. Poultrytude. Hit the like button for this game. Oh shit. I like doing that shit. Be flipping through the gram and just see one of my bitches that just posted a picture and she looking good and the motherfucker nigga be like, oh shit, bitch. Bitch, you looking good, bitch. I'll fuck with you. Shit. I fuck with you. Woo, man. She's a cold one too, man. Oh, shit. Hit the like button for this gang. In this motherfucker on that clock. Send me the link with some crispy shit. I'm trying to spend some. Shit, man. What we doing, man? He say, bless that bat. Hell yeah, man. Bless that bitch. Woo. Man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That particular bitch got some fire. Fire. Hit the like button for this game. All right. Reader, listener, email. Shit just made me happy to see that bitch, man. Damn. Ooh, man. That was one of the great bitches. One of the great bitches. Reader, listener, email. How long I been talking? Oh, an hour and a half. Shit, man. I hate, oh, man, my bad. Reader, listener, email. All right, here we go. A nigga from Los Angeles writes the BossMack. He says, BossMack. I'm a 35-year-old nigga out here getting to the chili as a gaffer. I have a 2-bitch rotation right now. I have a bitch that I consider my main bitch, which is actually my newest bitch. She has been on the team coming up on 5 months. A 29-year-old beautician bitch with her own shop. My side bitch, which has been holding me down for 4 years, is a 47-year-old snow gilf that looks great for her age, even though she is Botoxed up and has a BBL. But that is the bitch that has really been holding me down and been there for me in my corner, blessing me with paper, keeping me from going under. And she wants to be a side bitch. She wants to be in side bitch position. My issue is with my main bitch. When me and my main bitch started up, I think I was too excited to have such a bitch. And I got carried away with fucking her a lot. We was fucking every time we linked up for the first few months. 3 and 4 nut sessions. 5 and 6 times a week. It was cool at first. But for me, I had to return to reality and normalcy. So I took it down to like twice a week. This became an issue for my bitch. And she accused me of seeing other bitches and demanded more dick. I told her 2 days a week was as much as I could do, and a bitch demanded that we get in at least 4 sessions per week with a 2-nut minimum on each session. BossMack, the pussy is fire, the mouth is fire, but I do not have the energy to keep up that pace. What are your thoughts on this? Hit the like button. And that sounds like a great problem to a lot of niggas. There's a lot of niggas out there that be like, man, I wish I was me, man. Oh, take it down. No, fuck the shit out of that bitch. Make discipline your friend for the win. Make discipline your friend for the win. A man must remember that he is the governor of the dick. You understand me? And as governor of the dick, thou art getteth to administereth the dick at will, at your true time and place of choosing. You know what I'm saying? As the governor of the dick, you can't let a bitch punk you out of dick. You understand me? You can't let a bitch punk you out of dick. You gotta be the governor of the dick. Shout out to her though. You know, a lot of bitches don't even have that in them, man. You know what I'm saying? So, it seems like you giving her a lot of energy. She's getting a lot of energy from you, man. So I would control the energy faucet, and then you have to enter into a mind state of see, and then see, that's another thing too, man. Like, you know, niggas be setting a tone, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be setting a tone, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta be mindful of the tone that you set, you know what I'm saying? You know, you set a tone of a high level, promiscuous, you know, you set a high level promiscuous tone, and then, you know what I'm saying, you know. But it's good to make that good impression that the dick is immaculate. It's good to make that good impression that the dick is immaculate and great, and what a great experience it is fucking me. But then, you know what I'm saying, you know, we have to be, you know, we have to manage our energy. You know what I'm saying? She probably, I feel you, she probably, you know, when you get a new bitch and, you know what I'm saying, a new bitch experience and shit, you know what I'm saying, you get carried away in the pussy. You know, I feel you. But, you know, we have to be in a place of, you know, my way or the highway type shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to be you have to be like, yo, I gotta go to work. I gotta recover from work. You know what I'm saying? You know, I need to eat. I need to eat healthy and build up the semen for you, bitch. I don't have enough semen. You know what I'm saying? I gotta build up. I gotta eat. So, you know, twice a week, you know what I'm saying, I'll be able to deliver high quality dick twice a week. I can't do 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? I can do twice a week, bitch. And if a bitch ain't willing to compromise, then you gotta be like, well, you know what, bitch, it was good fucking with you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta, you know, I can't do it. You know what I mean? You gotta be willing to go there with it. And the bitch might be like, the reality, see, you might seem too affable to a bitch. You can't be seeming too affable to a bitch. And a bitch with her own shop is like an aggressive kind of bitch. You know, any bitch with her own beautician shop is an aggressive, you know, boss type bitch. Used to, you know, calling shot and all that shit, and you know what I'm saying, you know, and I don't know, you a gaffer, so I don't know how much shot you be calling on your job, or if motherfuckers be telling you to set up the shot, you know what I'm saying, you know, so yeah, My way or the highway, bitch. I can't do it. Hit the like button for this guy. As the governor of the dick, administer the dick. You know what I'm saying? Like the boss, governor. You know what I mean? You know. You should be administering dick based on good deeds. You should be like, bitch, I'm giving out dick on good deeds. You know what I'm saying? Did you do good this week? Are you worthy? And see, that's a good thing. Like I said, you establish great dick. You know what I'm saying? The bitch need the dick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she gon', I mean, you could establish my way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? She might not even be able to, you know, if you say it's gonna be the highway, that might be you might see a different bitch if you tell her that. If you just be like, highway, it's gonna be the highway, bitch. My way or the highway. Hit the like button for this game. All right, another reader listener email. You wanna be ready? A nigga from the great state of Wisconsin, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, writes to BossMack. We got the Milwaukee niggas chiming in. He say, BossMack, I love the game you be putting in the air as an OG. You doing good service for the young niggas out there. I love the shorts. I just tapped into the pod on the G. Look, here's my situation. I'm a nigga with a few bitches in rotation. I'm a 31-year-old nigga out here getting it out the mud. I'm doing good out here right now. One of my longtime bros, one of my partners, was with a bitch for about 2 years that I know used to like me before she fucked with him. Her and my bro was together for about 1.5 years. They even lived together for a minute. But my bro was abusing the bitch. He ended up putting hands on her on multiple occasions, even gave her an STD. All types of sucker shit. About a month ago, a bitch cut him loose and moved out his crib and leveled up and copped her a new apartment by the lake. I ran into a bitch in traffic and now she wants to link up. Now that was the homie's bitch. But like I said, she liked me first. But I didn't move on it. Would you fuck with a bitch, BossMack? Hit the like button for this game. Alright, so what you have is a nigga that observed his homie with a bitch that he say liked him first, but he observed her with a homie go through a long relationship with abuse and all type of shit in it. And then she emancipated herself. And now she wants to link up with him. You feel me? I like you got bitches. You know what I'm saying? You got bitches, right? So it ain't like you need a bitch, right? Cause when you fuck with this bitch, you and your man ain't gonna be friends no more. So it really depends on how strong is that friendship. Is this one of your close peoples, or is this an associate? You know what I'm saying? Because once you start fucking with the bitch, he gonna become your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be enemies. So is it worth it losing this friendship for a bitch you may or may not keep long term? You know what I'm saying? You may or may not keep a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But every bitch count. The bitches be counting like, you know what I'm saying? You know, nice little feather for the hat. You feel me? Every bitch is a feather for the hat. But, you know what I'm saying? Will you lose a good friend or ally or somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you might be able to depend, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause, you know, it could be fleeting with the bitch. Yeah, I mean, y'all could probably, it might only last a few months. A bitch coming out of some long abuse shit, you know what I'm saying? She just might want some fresh dick. And you know, she might want to use you as a weapon against old boy psyche. You know what I'm saying? You know, start fucking you. You might even be trying to keep it low key and shit. Unless you don't give a fuck and just fuck the bitch and pop out. But you know what I'm saying? It's I mean, you know, my policy is leave your homies bitches alone. My policy is if it's your homie, leave your homies bitches alone. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, it's special situations. You know, maybe this a miraculous bitch, you know what I'm saying, that is gonna change the course of your life. You know, sometimes, you know, you might have to say, fuck that nigga. We just not friends no more. I need the bitch on the team. Every bitch count. You know what I'm saying? She liked me first. Invoke the she liked me first. You know what I'm saying? You fucked her off. You know what I'm saying? And this is a great bitch. This bitch is an asset. And you know, it's hard times out here, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We could say that. You know. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes a bitch is worth it. But if you just gonna fuck a couple times and, you know, that's it, you know what I'm saying? You know, it might not be worth it, you know what I'm saying? But if a bitch moved by the lake, she got an apartment by the lake, that means she got a little chilly. You understand me? So, you know, in Milwaukee, that's a you know, hey man. You know, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a bitch living over there by the lake. I mean, I'm just saying. So it depends on my relationship with the nigga. If I'm like, you know what? This bitch is an asset. I can see this bitch being in the fold for a minute. You tricked yours off. The bitch liked me first. You know what I'm saying? I invoke that. If she gonna be an asset, but if you know, if you know what? And another thing too, man, I would do a review on a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I would do a review on a bitch, meaning like I would go link up with a bitch with no intentions of really fucking, just kind of hear a bitch out. You know what I'm saying? Feel the texture of a bitch. See if this is a bitch I'm gonna want to be fucking with. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with a bitch a couple times. You know, some friendly shit, and see if I'm vibing with a bitch. And then make a decision. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. She likes you first. The fact he's even considering it shows just how low down he is. Snake. I feel you. Like I said, you're going to be ending off your friendship, you know. You know. How much friends are y'all niggas? You know what I'm saying? You know. Hit the like button for this guy. Shout out to my homegirl. Shout out to my homegirl. Tariq, it's not worth getting shot over. It's tricky though, man. Like, you know, if it was a bitch you could have had back in the days, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's tricky. You feel me? That's tricky. That's tricky. That is tricky. That is very tricky. Hit the like button for this gang. Very tricky. But my policy overall is leave all your homies bitches alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave all your homies bitches alone. And I'm gonna say, if you considering it, you know, because of past history, do an interview vibe with have several conversations with a bitch and see if you know if you feeling anything, you know what I'm saying, and try to see what you dealing with, because you don't really know what you dealing with. You don't know what you dealing with, really. You think you know, but you don't know. Hit the like button for this game. Shout out to another nigga in the nose. Billy Carson versus Wes Huff. Billy Carson versus Wes Huff. I don't know if y'all know about Billy Carson, man. You know, I've been watching Billy Carson for a minute, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was full of shit. I just thought he was full of shit. Very clever, full of shit. You know what I mean? Got handled by Wes Huff, causing a lot of uproar out there. I think now Billy Carson suing Wes Huff. But I always thought Billy Carson was tripping, man. But he talk a good one though. He talk a good one. He talk a good one. He talk a good one. Shout out to all the motherfuckers that can talk a good one.
Billy Carson is attempting to sue me. For those of you who don't know, I was invited to interact with Billy on a podcast that he agreed to come on. It was not his podcast, where he was notified beforehand who I was and what we'd be talking about. After that debate took place, Billy attempted to suppress the footage. That didn't really work. I've released clips from that conversation. Well, Billy does not want you to see those clips and has sent me a cease and desist letter. I was really hoping that this could be an opportunity for Billy to learn, to see the major errors that he's been repeating and turn this into a learning experience. I even offered to follow up with Billy in order to show him how and where he could find accurate and credible resources in order to make sure that what he was saying was verifiably correct going forward in the future, so he and his audience could learn and proceed knowledgeably. Billy did not agree. But unfortunately for Billy, agreeing to a debate, losing that debate, and feeling embarrassed about that loss does not constitute legitimate grounds to litigate. Billy, I will agree to all the terms and conditions of the cease and desist letter that you have sent me if you agree to run it back, sit down with me in person, and have another discussion. This is my formal response.
Carson got exposed. Traveling Freeman. Yeah, Billy Carson, man. I always thought he was full of shit, though, man. I always thought he was full of shit, man. I always thought he was full of shit. And I guess, that fucked up his bag. I guess Billy Carson ain't getting money now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Billy Carson, I guess he was getting money. I didn't even know he was getting money like that.
Hi, what's up, everyone? And
chunk of it swung away, recoalesced, taking the water, land, and organic material, which basically recoalesced as our planet here, Earth, and the rest of it broke up into pieces. Some of it turned into the asteroid belt. Other parts of it were thrown towards the sun, and some were thrown towards the inner Oort cloud, towards the outer edge of the solar system. This planet, or this moonlet that orbited supposedly a brown dwarf.
He was calm in this ass whooping.
Gained a very strange orbit around our sun. And we have the scientific evidence now also to match with NASA's data, where we see that Saturn and I believe Neptune switch places Uranus is flipped on its side, and that's more evidence that something came through our solar system in ancient times and gravitationally really tugged at planets here and switched up their orbits and even pulled the axis of a planet on its own side, where the equator is now running north.
He
and
been
south.
on Joe Rogan and
a little bit of
everything.
modern astrophysics kind of backs up what this ancient text is saying. But the Enuma Elish also then begins to talk about the fact that these beings, it kind of cuts into the fact that these beings, you know, are on Earth and at some point begin to engage mankind. In other words, they didn't create people from scratch, but they engaged the existing hominid and began to utilize us as workers for their workforce. In the Atrahasis epic, you see a much similar story. Like slightly later date period, but still thousands of years old, the Epic of Atrahasis. And we see a very similar story. And we see where the sons of God literally came down to Earth. They came from Mars, according to this text. If you read the translation of the planet Mars and to English. And then they went to battle. They were going to go to battle in South Africa against Enki and Lil and Anu. And they come to terms without going to battle. They argued that they needed women, human women, believe it or not. And they also wanted a workforce. They didn't want to continue to do the labor. They were cleaning out the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, digging canals, building cities on Earth, and according to the text on Mars, not according to me. And a decision was made by Enki and Anu and Enlil to allow this experiment to happen, where they would take the existing hominid here. They would slay one of the gods, meaning that they would, in my opinion, that doesn't mean that they're going to kill it, but somehow, some type of genetic modification or manipulation, in my personal opinion, that's my personal hypothesis. But in the end, it ends up being that human beings are now doing a lot of this labor and worshiping these people as gods, as they, my personal opinion, masqueraded as gods. A lot of stories there, parallel stories.
Billy Carson sound good. He be sounding good and shit, like he know what the fuck he talking about.
You see in the Bible, even the Tower of Babel incident and many other crazy stories that are in the Bible. You can find a lot of those true stories in the ancient text.
And see the motherfucker you sitting next to set him up like, yeah, nigga. He got your ass right, get you belly.
Like the Epic of Gilgamesh, where you can find the true story of Noah. They found the Noah tablet to give him instructions on how to build the ark. It wasn't a big boat. It was a round disc that he built with the sections cut up on the inside like a pie. That was discovered about 4 or 5 years ago. I believe it's at the British Museum now. So there's a lot of text that's just been covered and copied over into the biblical text. And I think that, in my personal opinion, a lot of people are just became a cargo cult, worshiping people that were masquerading as gods. I do believe in God, by the way. Let me make this clear. I believe in God. I believe there's a creator of the universe. I believe that the mathematics, the quantum physics, all proves that. The fact that we're here, I believe this universe is imbued with a divine energy and a divine spark that lives inside of all of us. I just don't believe that the God of the Bible is truly the creator of the universe. I don't think that God needs money. I don't think that God needs.
Sure. Do you mind if I just jump in here for a second? Because I think we've kind of gone on.
I'm tired of hearing the bullshit. Let me just go ahead and just pour water on your shit.
From the original question, I appreciate that. I do have a few issues with your summary, although I think I have read the Akkadian version. My Akkadian's not great, but I sat down with a Syriologist friend and we walked through it a couple of years ago. So I think that there are components of what you said that I would say are in there. I'm not sure it's the best summary. Nonetheless, okay, going with what you said that there were like verbatim parallels with the biblical creation story. Even just going off with what you said, which I think there are components of that I would agree with, the Battle of the Gods, the concept of Enki and the younger gods, and they fight Tiamat, and then Marduk, who swears he'll defeat Tiamat, and Kwenku, who kills Tiamat by shooting her with an arrow, and there's this big battle, and then the gods that die end up being the earth and the sky and even us, because we are the end result of that battle. I'm just curious, when you say that there are not just parallels, but there's actual copying, looking at Genesis chapter 1 and 2, where the creation story is summarized in the Bible, what are the actual kind of parallels there that you're looking to? Because as someone who's read both, I not only do I not find parallels, I actually, and this is the majority of ancient Near Eastern scholarship with me, think that Genesis chapter 1 is actually an apologetic against documents like the Enuma Elish. So what are the parallels there?
Separated the waters from the waters, for example. That's in the Enuma Elish, and that's also in the biblical text.
Okay, that I would agree is a parallel. The only reason I highlight that is that if you're making this the argument, because if you brought it up, and I mean this with all due respect, there are superficial parallels. I would agree. You know, the separation of the water, the concept of the earth being formless and void. That's also in the Enuma Elish. However, I think all the other details, you know, it's the details that make the difference. And if we're looking at not the superficial crossovers, but the actual themes and concepts of what it's saying, you don't have a creation within 7 days. You don't.
I'm not going to take the Enuma Elish and put it into the biblical text. There's certain words that they utilize that let me know that they copied it from that text. Like, for example,
So what words?
Separating the water from the waters, the void, the earth being void. That information is literally just copied over. So it tells you that somebody saw that and said, let me add it to this book right here. Or let me add it to the scripture or this papyrus, because it wasn't a book yet at that time.
So was this text discovered that makes it parallel to Genesis? Was this like supposedly discovered prior to? I'm just curious.
It wasn't discovered prior to the Bible, but it dates back long before the Bible was ever written.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just say this. So the reason why I say it's actually an apologetic against that is because the purpose of the Enuma Elish, which the Babylonians read every Babylonian New Year, was to point out the fact that the deities, and there's countless deities in the Babylonian pantheon, they actually come from the created order. So they're not outside of time and space. They actually come from the created order. And when they die in this battle, right, when Tiamat is defeated, the defeated gods become the earth and the sky and the plants and even you and me. And in that sense, the theme is that you don't actually have any purpose or end result, and you're not created in the image of God. In fact, in the ancient Babylonian system, only the kings were created in the image of God. And what we see that is counter to that is that even, sure, there's superficial, you know, divided the waters, but we find that in almost every society and culture. That's not a parallel as much as it's just a generality. I would say what we see within the biblical account is that God purposefully creates. There's only one God. He purposefully creates, and then he creates and it's good. And it continues to say it's good 7 times. And then at the end of chapter 1, just for, you know, the thick people in the original audience, it says, and then it was very good. And then he creates humanity, not kings, but simply the humans that he creates in God's image. And they have purpose and meaning, and that instills them with this creation order. And that's not what we find in the Enuma Elish. In fact, we find the opposite in the Enuma Elish, is that the created order is not good, it's a mistake, and that you are not created in the image of God. And there's a reminder that regular people are not created in the image of God. So linguistically, I mean, Hebrew does have Semitic ties with Akkadian. It doesn't with Sumerian. Sumerian is a language isolate, agglutinizing language.
Hey, Billy Carson took this ass whooping good, though. He took this ass whooping good. He didn't lose composure or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? He took this ass whooping good.
But I would say, just with all due respect, the parallels linguistically are not there. There might be superficial kind of concepts that are there, but they're so superficial that we can find them in everything. In the sense of, I'm in an office studio, you're in your office studio. That doesn't mean that, you know, that we're the same people or we're even in the same place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I just see, if I have all these texts out, there's a lot of different information that you can see. There's a lot of it's been copied word for word into the biblical text.
But what's the word for word?
In your version of what you believe in, you keep saying that God's a he.
Yep.
And so where do you get that from?
Well, throughout both the Hebrew Old Testament and the Greek New Testament, you have the masculine singular pronoun used for God.
And why is God a man? Where's the evidence of this?
Well, God isn't a man. See, within historical Christianity, we don't believe that God has a gender. However, the way that he has decided to reveal himself is through the masculine plural, and then ultimately by becoming a human in the person of Jesus Christ. So we don't believe that God has a gender. In fact, the fact that God creates humanity in his image and he creates them male and female, those are two aspects of the image of God. And so that's the completeness. So historical Christianity has never argued that God is gendered. Jesus is gendered in the sense that during the incarnation, he becomes a human man, but he's still fully man and fully God. But God is spirit. And right, as the scripture says, we worship him in spirit and in truth. But nobody's arguing that. What's that? Sorry?
That always blows my mind.
God is the same all the time, right? He's always good. It's always, God is all the same all the time. Right?
Yeah, but we do see that in Scripture, God has revealed himself through the masculine plural. And there are aspects of God's character that we see within Scripture that do actually communicate. You know, Jesus says that he longs to gather Israel like a mother hen collects her chicks. So we see aspects of, you know, the feminine of God, not meaning that God is feminine, but that the image of God reflects both the masculine and the feminine. And that's why when, you know, the two become one flesh, there's a uniting of that reflects the image of God as well within the covenant of marriage.
Do you actually believe that the majority of Christians really believe that God is not masculine, that God is has both aspects?
I mean, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe.
How many would tell you, you know, that God's not a man? They've never been taught this.
Well, I was taught it growing up. I was taught it in when I was a child, when I went to seminary, when I went to Bible college. I was taught it in graduate school. I would say I would say a few things to that. I would say, in one sense, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe, because what historical biblical Christianity articulates is what they should believe. You know, there are Christians who run around saying all sorts of things that are not in conformity to biblical, historical, Orthodox Christianity. And they shouldn't believe that because it's irrelevant. And so if one Christian believes something that is not in line with biblical Christianity, I mean, that's on them. So God is not gendered, but he does express through inspired scripture the masculine the masculine pronoun.
That's pretty convenient. I mean, for an all-knowing, all-loving God to understand that human beings are going to take that and abuse it to put their boot on the neck of women for eons. It's pretty interesting. Also, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, so hold on. Let me speak to that because it is interesting that.
Quick, guys, I have to.
Yeah, sure.
Hit the like button for this game. Shout out Billy Carson taking that ass whooping. Y'all should check out that whole debate, man. That was real good, man. Billy Carson, man. I don't know. I like hearing him talk. You know what I'm saying? But I know he bullshitting though. It's weird. I like hearing Billy Carson talk, but it's like I know he most of the shit he's saying is bullshit. And I was just wondering how, you know. He said, ain't Billy Carson a scammer? He accepted that ass whooping. He ain't even get mad, really. He probably wanted to sock old boy he's sitting next to.
If it was only for the Old Testament,
I know he feels set
I would
up.
have a hard time.
I can't believe this motherfucker sitting next to me set me up.
Following a lot of stuff.
I thought he was my friend.
For me,
I thought he was my friend. They set me up.
Like we said, putting the boots on women and stuff. That it was when Jesus came that when they were literally like, oh, if a woman, you can just accuse a female of having an affair and murder her, and that's like okay. That he was he just reminds me of anyone that basically challenged everything. And people would say that it didn't contradict what's in the Old Testament.
Why is this dude talking now?
However people were interpreting it, they were believing that they were following the Bible to women can't do this, you stone them if they have an affair or if they're accused of having an affair. And Jesus, you know, as we know the famous scene when they were about to stone her, he's like, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, basically saying no one's perfect. And was the first one that I know of that started like speaking to other tribes and other countries that people weren't supposed to, like, they were so racist and prejudiced. And this is where my heart opened up, is like, he stood for this love and this God that broke down all these barriers and just flipped what all the scholars and everything was saying on its head. And that's where I found that I believe that he was crucified, because he went so far like against the grain at the time. And I get what you're saying too. Like, there's stuff where it's like, oh, that's convenient, you know, where human beings can add in that this is there and that's not. But something else that I always was curious, I'm like, you know, if especially the New Testament, if it was like written by man and stuff and pre-planned, I'm like, I think
this dude talking too
they
much.
would have done a better job of not making a lot of the people so like ignorant. The people that were like literally with Jesus questioning him half the time, like, bro, I don't know if you can do this miracle. And Jesus is like, dude, you just saw me yesterday turn water into wine. And I'm like, if they really, if I was writing a story, I'm like, I want everyone to believe this, I would make the people not like is questionable. It's like they have so many characteristics where the humanity in it is what like always drew me. And like, even one thing in the Old Testament that David and Goliath, kills Goliath, a man after God's own heart. I'm like, if you're pre-writing this to be the perfect person after God's own heart, then he becomes king. You're gonna like have the story end perfectly, but then he goes off to see, he's watching this lady bathe nude, has an affair with her, has her husband killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but then goes on to keep praying to God and coming back to God, like with a humanity. And God's like, this is a man after my own heart. And it's like finding all these human flaws is, to me, showed so much of like the beautiful struggle that, and I'm not going off everything you guys are talking about, which is factual stuff. I'm just talking from my own experience of ways where I drew and continue to draw my own conclusions. And I'm much more about my relationship with God personally, with Jesus and God, it's the same, over worshiping the religion, because so many people can, as we all know, that's wars are created, slaves are taken. There's so many horrible things that have been done in the name of religion. And it's sad. And that's where Jesus comes back into the game to me. I'm talking, you guys, to me, to where he was like the one that was like gathering all these people of all these, like, what are you doing? Like, we're supposed to be here helping each other. This is about loving each other and coming together. Like, you're killing them because they eat meat on Tuesday and they don't eat bacon on Sunday, and you're literally like murdering each other. It's so messed up. So I get where people look at different organized religion and stuff, and they're like, this is horrible. Like, on behalf of Christians, I'm like, I'm fully apologetic for, what was it, the Crusades. It's like, in the name of Catholicism, there's so many horrible things that human beings have done. And I'm speaking as someone that,
Billy Carson feel like he gets set up like a motherfucker. Billy Carson feel like he gets set up like a motherfucker.
That I would call myself a Christian, and I'm just letting everyone know that I'm open, critical thinker, and how I've continued to find my own beliefs, because I never sat here ignorantly and was like, nope, throughout history they've all been perfect. It's like through the Crusades they went through and committed genocide, rape, some of the most awful stuff, wearing these huge crosses, and I'm like, but God wasn't with them. They said he was, but that's why I also believe in the devil, and I don't believe he's this dude with a pitchfork and a red tail. I think it's more comes, you know, in energy and thoughts, and comes in people, and is like, oh, talks to this guy who's rising in power. You know, you should start conquering that other country in the name of and do it in the name of God. And then, you know, that's the way I look at things. So anyway, go ahead. I had to just throw in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really great resource written by a friend of mine, John Dixon. It's a book called Bullies and Saints, where he goes through a lot of the instances of where obviously you're going to find abuses, and every human being is going to find a way to exploit whatever is presented to them. So in one sense, I think we can say, you know, isn't it convenient that God used the masculine plural pronoun, or sorry, the masculine pronoun? I keep saying plural, it's just a mistake. The masculine pronoun. And we can say, oh, sure, that's convenient, maybe, but it is how he has revealed himself to us, and it's not his fault if we abuse that. I mean, we could say, so I grew up in the Middle East. My parents worked in Amman, Jordan, and when I was living in the Middle East, there was a country called the Democratic Republic of Iraq. Now, just because democracy exists and people are going to name things democratic when they obviously aren't, doesn't mean we then judge democracy. I mean, think of the Democratic Republic of North Korea, right? Nobody thinks that that's an actual representation of democracy. So people are always going to abuse terms and ideas and concepts. The difference is, though, I think historically within Judeo-Christianity, you have this ethic that we were talking about before that I think is fundamentally different than what we find in things like the Enuma Elish, the Atrasis, and other things, in that we are created in the image of God. And actually, one of the earliest criticisms of Christianity are by individuals like Celsus, who is a Greco-Roman philosopher in the 2nd century, where he accused Christianity of being foolish, dishonorable, and stupid, and he called it the religion of slaves, women, and children. Why? Not because God used the masculine pronoun for himself and people were abusing that, because the concept that Christians believed in of everybody, no matter what your gender, your race, your social standing, you know, Paul says in Christ there is no slave nor free, there is no Jew nor Gentile, there is no Scythian or barbarian, there's no male nor female. You know, these things united people. And we can see there's a historian named Rodney Stark.
Yes.
And in his book, The Rise of Christianity, he actually says that you can track empirically the agency of women across the ancient world by the movement of Christianity. So that, in other words, whenever an area became populated by Christians, we see a direct correlation with the privileges and treatments of women that expand in time when the surrounding culture largely didn't view women as being fully human. So I think we're always going to have abuses, but if there's one worldview that exists that gives agency to people and says that everybody has worth by nature of being just human, it's the Christian worldview. And that's where I think it's very different. So we can argue about why we think God should or shouldn't have revealed himself in his pronouns, but I think that's actually irrespective of the historical reality that we see within the impact of Christianity, particularly on the West, but around the world, and how it gives agency to the marginalized.
Wes, can I ask you one? So when you, because I'm always interested in this, like you were raised Christian. I always think about this, like my wife who's Muslim, and our beliefs at the core are so similar, but there's some differences. And I wonder, like, if I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa, where she was, I know in the Bible says Christ revealed, but C.S. Lewis is someone that I really respect, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a think outside
Hit
the box.
the like button.
And we should be. No one should just be like sheep and follow.
I was just putting up a little bit of that.
Like, do your research.
I was just putting up a little bit of that debate. You know what I'm saying? Before I get up out of here. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. How long I've been on here? Yeah. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. All right, y'all, look. I'm finna get off of here because I got to get these orders out and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dig me? Moderator didn't say anything relevant. Facts. And then just... Yeah, that moderator was talking too much. Let me see.
With people like my friends who are seriologists, who are philologists, and try to not just go off of a translation, but the original. And I think I've found largely the opposite of the conclusions that you have made, Billy. And I know that you are very, very passionate about what you talk about, and I respect that. I just think that the confidence might not actually be backed up by the reality of the evidence. So when we're looking at something like the Sinai Bible, when we're looking at something like the Gospel of Barnabas, when we're looking at something like the Gospel of Jesus' wife, these are things that actually have provenance that we can verify. And ultimately, I think the answers to the questions of the legitimacy or the illegitimacy of those things point to not just a different conclusion, but actually the opposite conclusion, and that Christianity is true.
Well, now I'm glad you said that. So those three topics are a very small piece of my concept and idea of what really happened in the ancient past. So that's a very small fraction. You know, it's less than 0.1%. You talk about eyewitness accounts convinced you that Christianity is real. There's been eyewitness accounts of every culture that I've visited around this entire planet, and their eyewitness accounts of what they experienced is 100,000% opposite of what's in the Bible. People have
based on what do you mean? Can you give me an example?
You know, the Dogon tribe, for example, in Mali, Africa, they experienced a culture that they claim came to this planet from Sirius B. They have the evidence that they knew these beings were from Sirius B because they have the instruments that show the orbit of a trinary star system that we couldn't discover.
Billy Carson, he sounded good.
With our modern technology, okay? They understood not only the orbital pattern of Sirius A, B, and C, but even that B was a failed star, which you can't see it from Earth with the naked eye. They knew that it was a white dwarf. They even knew that they said that if you took a tablespoon of it, the entire tribe or 1,000 men couldn't lift the tablespoon. They understood mass and gravity as well. They were told the shape, the sizes, and the colors of all the planets in our solar system, which they recorded. And there's only one wisdom keeper, and that person can never be touched by a person. If they get touched by another person, they'd actually be killed. And then they eventually have a mentee that they break down that verbally handed down knowledge to. And that next person then takes over and becomes the wisdom keeper. And they've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. And science, modern science, has found all their information to be 1,000% accurate. Then you have the Hopi tribe of the Americas, indigenous tribes, Hopi tribe, Lakota tribe, also having engagements with these quote unquote star brothers, even having an account of them being taken underground, which you don't see just only in America. I just came back from Turkey. You have the people from Turkey in Mesopotamia. Also
Billy Carson, he sounded good.
Darren Kuyu, by these beings, by these people, a structure that's built 12 stories deep underground, that's made out of volcanic tuff, a very soft stone, and if you don't know what you're doing, it'll actually collapse. There's no evidence of any collapse, and it was thousands of years old. It was reused many times, so the mainstream story about what it was used for to hide from Romans is actually false. This place is ancient, and in order to build it, you actually have to have foreknowledge of how to construct this type of an underground civilization that can hold 20 to 30,000 people, places for livestock, places for worship, with no sign of collapse. Then you have to have hundreds of ventilation shafts, and I've been down there. Those ventilation shafts cut through solid rock all the way down to the core. And there's even more. It links to other underground cities that are miles and miles away. As you get to the very base of this area, you can cut through and go to another location. But again, these people were taken under. Also, then you have the ancient Egyptians. Similar story. Major catastrophe comes. These people come and take them underground. Then you have the information in the Egyptian book of Going Forth by Day. More accounts by people, our ancestors, that have accounts that do not match up with the biblical text. And so all of a sudden we're saying that all these cultures, the Aboriginal people, I can go into them as well. I've gone to walkabouts
Do you mind?
In the outback,
Yeah.
and the Aboriginal elders, same thing. They were seated here by Pleiadians. This is their verbal handed down history for thousands of years. And I can go around the world and I can come up with all this information from all these eyewitness accounts from people that should be respected, dignified, and shouldn't be scoffed. And that we're now saying that all this information that they put forward, all their verbal handed down history, all their written history, that's got to go to the side, because this one text is 1000% accurate.
Sure, but so my question is, most of that is oral history, correct?
It's all oral history, even the Bible.
Okay, so when we're engaging with oral history, what methodologies are you using to confirm that the orality is accurate?
Oh shit.
Well, first and foremost, some of these texts cultures have written down information in caves. You've got cave paintings. The Dogon tribe actually have not only written down.
Sure. No, I don't disagree with that. The question is one of historic. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. The question is one of methodological analysis. So you have to have a method by which you can find either that something is falsifiable or that there are avenues by which you can show internal and external accuracy of credibility. So this is what we do with documents. This is what we do with the ancient Gospels. This is what I do. I've worked on Xenophon and Plutarch, and we look at the internal evidences and the external multivalent corroboration to try to figure out, okay, yes, we have all these stories. Great. I don't deny that. But as a historian, as someone who's trying to figure out what is accurate, how do you know if I use the term verisimilitude, do you know what that term means?
No, but I can tell you.
Verisimilitude. I just said that on the short. A very similitudinous bitch. A very similitudinous bitch. I just used that word.
Solar system and other star alignments that they would use to have something called
Very
and their own harvesting and planting and so forth.
You don't know it, Billy. Don't know what that word means.
I'm not aware of that particular case.
And
even I would grant that the ancient people are far more technological advanced than we give themselves credit for. Just because they're ancient doesn't mean they're stupid. I am well aware, as someone who has done both investigation of the past and done archaeological analysis, that is a reality. My question is simply, okay, you have these stories or you have these accounts, you're referring to them as eyewitness testimony. How are you going about verifying that as that?
Well, if the people had eyewitness testimony about Jesus, they then just wrote down their eyewitness testimony on a piece of paper or parchment paper or papyrus. So these people...
Right. So that's where internal methodological analysis...
Some of it's actually written down. So, I mean, it's the same exact thing. There's really no difference.
Well, no. So you do internal investigations to figure out when something was dated. So something like so when I used that term verisimilitude before, that's something we as historians are looking for. It's a term that simply means the appearance or likelihood of truthfulness. So when you do historical analysis, it's an inference to the best explanation. So you have proof and you have data, and you're extrapolating that data on levels of probability. So some things can be confirmed as high probabilistically true, and other things are lower in their probability that they happened. But there are different methodologies, different ways that you explore historically how that happens. Well, so for the Gospels, we look at...
With the Dogon tribe, scientists went there to visit the tribe, and they still have no answers because they used their modern science. They took the best scholars to visit these people, and they're still scratching their heads. Something happened there.
Sure. And I'm not even denying that necessarily, but the question is, okay, we need different levels of evidence and exploration. not just scientifically, but historically to derive something as eyewitness testimony. Now we have mountains of that, and I'm more than willing to go into some of that with the Gospels as early eyewitness testimony that can be verified externally and internally. But nonetheless, the only reason I ask, Billy, is because I've listened to a fair amount of your content,
Billy,
and I'm unaware of the methods that you use to try to discern between what is an accurate source historiographically and an inaccurate source historiographically.
oh shit!
Well, I use.
Does that make sense?
You in fantasy?
Getting in an airplane and traveling.
You
to
in
these places,
fantasy?
doing my own research, talking with indigenous cultures, and researching as much of the text that is available that I can possibly find.
Okay, so I don't dispute that, and I do believe you have done that, but I mean, even from what we've talked about, so you've researched the text, but when we talked about the crucifixion, everything you cited was either, and I mean with all due respect, false in terms of the Sinai Bible, because Codex Sinaiticus is just a 4th century Greek manuscript of the Gospels that we have today, or they were verified forgeries in terms of the Gospel of Jesus' wife and the Gospel of Barnabas.
You may be right on that particular part of the topic, but like I said, that's less than 0.1% of the information that I hold.
Sure, but that was the original question. So yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, well,
Shout out to these niggas, man. Let me stop that shit.
So I'm going off of what we've already talked about. So you've said you explore the text. I don't deny that.
Oh shit! Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all vibing with me today, man. Let me get to work, man. The boss, man, gotta get that work, man.